Hey, it's Biddy Penny. Welcome to Not Another Halloween Card Series. This series is designed to collect inspiration from Halloween makes for your everyday cards. We're going to be exploring products, techniques, colors, and themes. Today, I have a collaboration with Lauren Taylor of Lauren Taylor Made. You guys, she is an incredible card maker. She's here on YouTube, she's on Instagram. She's one of my friends. I just adore her and every single thing that she makes. And so I asked her to join me for kind of a kickoff party for this series. So please go over to her channel. I'm going to leave it linked down below. She's making an everyday card with Halloween products today from Scrappy Tales. So we're both using Scrappy Tales products. I just love Scrappy Tales. Sabrina came out with some incredible dies for Halloween, and I bought them for my everyday cards. So they will be the product that I feature for this mini series. We will be playing with them quite a bit. I bought three products. I bought this cat one, I bought a bat and an owl. Today I'm using the owl die, and I'm making a Harry Potter inspired card with Hedwig, which is the owl. But I'm showing you here just the incredible dies. I can't wait to show you some of the other ideas I have for these. But don't worry, this series is also going to involve later on, we're going to explore like techniques and themes of everyday cards and other things and inspiration we can pull from all the amazing Halloween cards out there. All right, so I did look up, a picture of Hedwig so that I could, um, you know, get him right. But he's basically a snow owl. And here I'm playing around because this is my base layer. And I know I'm going to put layers on top of it. So I kind of wanted to play around with like how dark do I want to go with my distress. This is black soot. Do I want to go light? Do I want to go dark? And I kind of played around underneath those wings, knowing that there were layers that I could put on top of them. And like, I'm so glad I did because in this instance, I decided I wanted to go a little lighter. I didn't want to make him too dark. A lot of times in card making, we talk about like, even if you're going to have a white item, you've got to add a little color to it. We don't just leave the white cardstock, like you need contrast. And so these owls don't have a ton of color. They're white with black spots. But we're definitely going to add some color here. So I distressed with just a light brush, and then I went into some of the details. Now, I will tell you that with Scrappy Tales, I absolutely adore the way that Sabrina designs these dies because they're almost etched. They have like an etched detail all over them. If you look at this owl, it has so much detail to it. And then there's all these pieces that it cuts out that you can layer up. And so it's like dimensional. It's detailed. I saw a die the other day and it was just a shape, and I was like, I don't think I can go back, you guys. It was like the shape of a dog, but there was no detail in it otherwise, and I was like, I just can't go back. Sabrina has spoiled me with detailed die cuts. So the great thing about these is that they're so easy to put together, and add the layers on, because you can see the etching on that base layer, so you know where all the other layers go. Here, I colored the shadow in because I knew I was going to put like the branch on top of it, and I knew I'd put the feet on top of the branch. And so I had colored in that gray shadow on the tail underneath the branch. So that's kind of fun. You can think of details like that when you know that you're going to layer more die cuts on top. I think this owl is just really magical and wonderful, and I'm so happy to have him in my stash. I didn't have anything like this before. Now that my stash is so large, when I'm looking for product, I really think about like, do I have anything like this? Can this replace something in my stash? Is this something just totally new for me? How many uses will it get out of it? I think of all of these things before I make a purchase. And then I'm usually much more pleased with the things that I purchase. So maybe just some considerations to give as you're shopping around for products. So like with this owl, I could see that it would make a wonderful Halloween card. Most certainly you could. But then I saw so many other things like today, like the Harry Potter card. This is for my niece who's turning 9 and she loves Harry Potter. And I could see this being used for like a birthday card, like happy birthday, wise guy, or a great teacher card, or just I want to use this owl and put it with like a fern background and just in a nature setting kind of background. So all of those are things that, I kind of took into consideration when I made this purchase. So here he is all layered up and I adore him. And now I am making a faux envelope. So you could tell from all those shattered little pieces of paper in the top right hand corner that I did have to play with this a little bit to get it scaled to the right size. But I just wanted a little tiny faux envelope to put there in his beak. And I colored it with my red alcohol marker, and then I'm using scrapbook.com's pops of color. Y'all know I love these. I just got 5 new colors. I'm so excited. I love these things. So I just added that to make it look like a seal, like a wax seal. I have a wax seal kit, but I was not going to get that out and melt things down for a little tiny drop of wax. So I just tried, and a lot of people might not have it. So I decided to just kind of fudge it a little. I grabbed this sentiment stamp set. It's a Lawn Fawn one. And it says squawk. So I just thought that would be kind of fun for my niece. I thought she would get a kick out of that. And if you're wondering about the die, that die is from Trinity Stamps. It's from a couple of years ago, I think. It was like a skyline die. I don't know what it was called. I don't even know if it's still available, but it was just something in my stash. And I wanted a bit of a skyline. So I always think of the scene in the first Harry Potter, which is my favorite, is the first movie, when the house just gets flooded with envelopes and letters. And so that was kind of the scene that I had in mind when I was putting this card together. So I liked that, he was kind of perched above all of the houses with his letter ready to be delivered to young Harry. So that's kind of the scene that I had in mind and where the envelope came into play. So, I had I stamped the squawk and picket fence. What I eventually end up doing, I'll show you. I wasn't crazy about how it wasn't very dark, and I had thought about embossing it, and that would be a great option, but that's not what I did. I did something else instead, and it's fine. So I used double foam tape to pop up my owl. I just wanted it to have extra dimension and really bounce off of this plaid background. This plaid is from a really old paper pad. You guys have had it for years, by Ella and Viv. I don't know. It's called Scottish Tartan. So I thought that was kind of perfect. And that's what I chose for the background. You could definitely go mixed media with this kind of design. I think that would be beautiful if you did like a really dramatic ink blended and splattered background. But I think this really sells the fact that it's Harry Potter inspired. And I wanted to do this card for my collab with Lauren because she does a lot of pop culture inspired themes in her card making. And that's one of my favorite things about her card making. I mean, she makes amazing cards, like whether I could connect to the theme or not. But I love that she does a lot of pop culture. And so I really wanted to do that in my collab with her here today. Something I tend to forget is how amazing double layering your cards or double matting your cards can be. Now, I know some of you are thinking like, oh, Bitty Penny, why didn't you die cut out of that cardstock? I don't. I usually don't unless I am in the mood. I just layer things up. I don't mind it being thick. I don't feel like it's a waste of cardstock. I totally get that it could be, but it's not. I like that it's all flat. So here's what I did. I used my pops of color to fill in the windows of all those little houses. And while I was at it, I thought, let me just try to go over the word squawk with my pops of color. Now, I would tell you to be careful. Like, you want to make sure there's no air bubbles. You want to make sure this is something you're comfortable with. But as card makers, I knew that if I messed this part up, I could always stamp my sentiment on a separate piece of paper and glue it over my boo-boo and everything would be fine. But I actually liked the way it turned out and I was happy with it, and I'm going to glue it down. Like, it's done. I almost felt like I was cheating a little with this design. Like, I didn't know if I had spent enough time on the card. I didn't know if I had done enough with the card. But kind of the way I look at it, like, it's because the die is so amazing. Like, the die did all the heavy lifting for me today. But when I step away, if the card looks good, then it's done, right? You don't have to spend a ton of time on your cards to make a beautiful card. I did decide I wanted more of those envelopes. So I'm showing you here. I cut out one and then I traced it onto this tan paper. This is just regular 20 weight copy paper. I use it in my junk journaling sometimes. So I kind of used one as a template, cut out a whole bunch, did the same process, just fold over the top. They're almost like little houses. You could probably do this depending on the type of house die you might have. Okay, so here it is, the final card. I love the way he came out. I love all the detail. I'm trying to show you here, like the eyes pop up. There's a double layer on the wings. I love the feet over the branch. Just everything about it is just so cool. So cool. And then the double matted layer. It's such a nice detail, you guys. It really is. It just looks so finished when it's like that. And so on the inside, I put squawk again and translation happy birthday. And that's where I put all those extra letters flying in. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please go check out Lauren Taylor Made here on YouTube and Scrappy Tales. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.